Hi, it's Jennifer from Pilates Back and Joint Exercise. Today I'm going to show you a quick around 20-minute workout to help with lower back pain. We're going to work on all the areas that might be a little bit tight and might contribute to your lower back pain. So let's start kneeling if you're comfortable. Hands and knees, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and the spine is long. We're in neutral, so I want you to look out ahead of you, not up, but just out on the mat. Soften the elbows just a little bit. And with an exhale, let's press into the hands, hollowing or rounding the pelvis. Pulling up into the back, feel the back and shoulder stretch. Inhale, lengthen. Pressing the tail away, opening the chest again. Keeping a little gem squeezed in your belly button, so we keep a little abdominal activity there. And exhale, press, pull up into the back. Inhale, reach your tailbone long and away, opening the chest, keeping the elbows a little soft here as well. And two more. Exhale, press into the hands, pull up into the back. And inhale, lengthening, reaching the tail long and away, lifting the breastbone out to the floor in front of you. Once more. Exhale, press and pull up. And then inhale, lengthening, reaching the tail long and away as you lift the breastbone. Now imagine you have a tail. Your right foot is a tail, and we're wagging that tail. So I'm going to reach the right foot across the body and then turn to look for it. So I'm lengthening, I'm reaching the crown of my head to the top left corner of the mat, back to neutral. And exhale, reach the tail, and then turn to look for it. Inhale, come back to neutral, keeping the elbows still soft. Exhale, turn and look. Now if you have any pressure in the low back, just tilt the tailbone ever so slightly down, and then turn to look and come back to neutral. We'll do the same. Left foot is the tail, reaches across, turning to look with an exhale, and then inhale back to neutral. Again, you can tilt the pelvis ever so slightly if you feel any pressure in the lower back. We're staying long through the waist on both sides. And then one more time there. Exhale, turn and look, and inhale back to neutral. Then we'll do some exercises on our back. So I would recommend using a pillow, if you will, while you're lying on your back. The pillow just helps elevate the head or keep the head in a neutral position, and also the rib cage down, kind of settled into the mat. So with your feet right under your knees, sits bone width apart, hands long at your, arms long at your side. Breathe in, so we'll just take a couple of breaths here. Inhale, feeling the head to tail lengthening in the spine. And as you exhale, melting the ribs into the mat, feeling the tailbone pulling down and away again. Inhale, feeling the length, filling up into the rib cage in the back between the shoulder blades. Exhale, allowing the ribs to settle into the mat. Now if you'll place your hands on your pelvis, we have a triangle there. I'll set the heel of my hand on my hip bones, and then my fingers will reach down towards the pubic bone. And as you exhale now, we'll just let the back settle into the mat, tilting. The pubic bone will tilt up a little and the tailbone will pull long and away. And then as you inhale, you'll come back to neutral. And so we have space there in the lower back. That's your neutral spine. Exhale again, allowing the ribs to settle into the mat, and then the lower back melts down. Use your breath to move. Inhale. Back to neutral, filling up into the ribs in the back. Exhale. Pushing the air out, down the body, and then out through the tailbone. And once more. Inhale, come back to neutral. And exhale, allowing the vertebra to melt down into the mat, into the floor. And inhale, back to neutral. Place your hands at your side. We'll do the same breath. Exhale, allowing the ribs to melt down and come up into a bridge from here. So the back settles into the mat, and then we press through the feet to bring the hips up. If you have a thick pillow, you might want to take it out to the side. We want to keep the weight in the shoulders, not in the neck. You should be able to lift your head. Take a breath in and then exhale. Allow the ribs and the sternum to soften down, roll through the lumbar, and then release the tailbone with an inhale. Exhale again, the ribs melt down, push the air out to scoop the hips up, up, up. Inhale here. As you exhale, softening down so through the ribs and the sternum first, peeling, opening the vertebra as you come down. So we want to create space in the spine between the vertebra. Again, exhale, melt the ribs, and peel the spine up, up, up. Feel the hips really open. You get a nice stretch in the psoas there, reaching the knees long and away. Inhale, and then exhale, allowing the spine to melt back down. Next exercise will be a knee sway. So we'll bring the arms out to the side, palms up. With an inhale, I'll allow the right knee to move towards the floor, and then exhale, bring the left knee over to meet it. Allow the hips, the ribs, the waist to come off the mat. You can look off to the opposite side if you wish to get a little more neck and shoulder stretch. As you inhale, the left thigh moves center, and then exhale the right. The head comes back to the center as well. Inhale, off to the left we go. Exhale, keeping the shoulder blade. So I want to keep that right shoulder blade now on the mat as the legs move to the left side. Inhale, move everything, the right thigh, and then exhale the left thigh back to the center. Breathe in to the right. Exhale, left thigh comes. I look off to the left. Inhale, left thigh. Exhale, pull the right thigh center. Inhale to the left. And then the right thigh moves. I look off to the right. Breathe in to pull the right thigh center. And then exhale the left. We'll bring our hands back to our side for the knee folds. So this is going to imitate a walking pattern. The feet are right under the knees again, folded. Take a breath in, keeping the pelvis neutral. Exhale, fold the right thigh, just like you're taking a step. Inhale, release it back to start. Exhale, fold the left. Inhale, release it back to start. Allow the head of the femur to sink heavy into the hip socket here. They're separate. My hip bones are still facing the ceiling. We're just walking, taking soft steps, kind of tiptoeing almost. Exhale. Yep, we're keeping the ribs on the floor, on the mat, folding and releasing. One more, fold the left leg. Exhale, grab under that knee, slide your right leg out along the mat, and just start with a hamstring stretch here. So we're going to extend this left leg up towards the ceiling. Take it to a point of shake. You might feel really tight in the hamstrings. If they are tight, that can create some pressure on the lower back, some pull. So just take your time, move in and out of these stretches, breathing in and out. And you can do 5 to 10 of these, or until you find some relief in the stretch of the leg. Now I'm going to extend the left leg, bring my hands to my side, brace the spine, and reach the leg long and down the mat. Inhale, pull it up. Exhale, melt the ribs, feel the core, the strength in the core of the body. So the exhales are really important to activate the core muscles. Inhale up. Exhale, reach the leg long and down. Once more up, and reach that leg long and down all the way to the mat, and then fold the right leg in. And again, we'll just start with the hamstring stretch. So we want to release the hamstring a little bit here. Feel the pull up high in the back of the thigh here, maybe in behind the knee even, you feel it. And again, you can go through 5 to 10 repetitions, or until you feel some release there. Lengthen the leg. Bring your hands to your side, bracing the spine, lengthen the leg down the mat, and pull it up. Inhale. And again, exhale. Long and down, and pull it up. Long and down. Good. Feel that core strength, the abdominals in the front of the spine. They should be flattening and lengthening. You never want to feel any puckering when you're working the abdominals. That means you're working the superficial muscles. We always want to feel a flattening effect. And so let's fold that leg back down, both legs in place. And we'll work on a little bit of getting some breath into the thoracic spine, the ribs and the back. So with an inhale, reach the arms up over the chest, and exhale, allow them to sink the shoulder blades, soften the elbows a little. And then exhale, scoop the arms out to the side. Angel arms, inhale up, and exhale, out and around. So a pain-free range of motion. You can rotate the hands and the shoulders here throughout the exercise. Keep the back of the neck long. Breathe in. Feel that nice stretch up through the front of the torso. Keep the back line of the body against the floor. The ribs especially reaching down. And then reverse the direction. So we'll sweep the arms out, up, overhead, and down by the side. Breathe in deeply. And exhale, pull them down to your side. Breathe in deeply, out and around, and exhale down. Again, I'm going through anywhere from 5 to 10 repetitions. And exhale, back to your side. And then we'll just finish with a little stretch for the hips and the buttocks. So if you cross the right ankle over the left knee, we'll fold the left leg up into us until you get a little stretch here in the lateral hip and thigh, pulling in, just kind of in and out, releasing, keeping the pelvis neutral. So I'm not allowing the back to flatten here as I do this exercise. This can also be done sitting in a chair. It's nice for warding off sciatic pain, hip bursitis, keeping the piriformis muscle stretched. That's the muscle that may or may not pinch the sciatic nerve and create that radiating pain down the leg. So let's release the legs down. We're going to roll onto our stomach next. So if you'll just roll over. You can use your pillow now to place under your chest or your pelvis if that's more comfortable for you. I'm just going to move mine out. Rest my forehead on my hands overhead. Hollow the pelvis by gently pressing your pubic bone. Notice how the spine lengthens and it also stabilizes. And now with an inhale, we'll lengthen the spine, hollow the pelvis, again from the front, not by squeezing your bottom, and then lengthen the right leg, and inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, it floats up, and exhale, lower. Breathe in, and out to come up. Think more of lengthening the leg than lifting it up really high here. And lower, good. Inhale, exhale, lengthen. In and out to lower. And now I'm going to lengthen the left leg and then take it into a little thigh stretch. So I'll pump twice at the knee. So lengthen and pump, pump. Lengthen out and down. And stretch and pump, pump. You'll feel the stretch in the thigh and the psoas. Psoas can also create havoc with the lower back. So we're opening. We're going into prone hip extension here. Once more on the right. Pump, pump, and lengthen out and down. So next we'll do a little windshield wiper. Fold the legs up, and we're just going to do a little knee sway. This is a lot like the knee sway laying on the back or the tail wag to loosen the hips and the low back. So as the legs go off to one side like a windshield wiper, that opposite hip can come off the mat. It can just rotate. So go wherever this is comfortable for your lower back. And inhale, exhale, and let's come back to the center. Lengthen the right leg out and the left leg. Place your hands just outside your ears. With an inhale, I'll press into the hands, press my head and chest up, and slide the elbows under my shoulders here. So I'm going to press into my forearm and fist and try to pull my elbows and forearms into my back pocket or my hip, opening the chest, looking out ahead. You don't want to look up on these. And then exhale as you press them away, just round, hollow the pelvis and the upper back. Inhale, press, almost like you want to drag yourself forward, and then you push yourself back, rounding. So my pelvis, my pubic bone is on the mat. The hips might be up just a little bit depending on your flexibility. Inhale, once more, press open, and then exhale, let's hollow the pelvis and press away. Now I'm going to place the hands down and then press all the way up, fold at the waist, and sit back for a little shell or child's pose. Open the knees just a little bit, allow the hips to sink back over your heels, and your head can fall between the shoulders here. Take a deep breath in and out, sink into it. That one feels good. So you can spend a little more time there when you do it yourself. We're going to come up to kneeling next. And again, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. So now we're getting into little strength, some strengthening exercises and stretching the calves and ankles. They can also create problems for the lower back when they're stiff. So with an inhale, I'll slide the right leg back. Exhale, just kind of reach the heel back and feel the whole calf and the back of that leg stretching. Now I'm going to roll the ankle a little bit here. So it's just going to rotate my whole body. Just kind of roll around one direction a few times and then go the other direction. And pressing. So you can use your arms here a little bit to press you back and pull you forward. Keep the elbows soft, looking out, and then slide that leg back under the right knee. Inhale, exhale, slide the left. Again, just go into a calf stretch. It's kind of like a runner coming out of the starting blocks here, right? And then just roll the calf again. So 4 or 5 times each direction. Rolling up and around and up and around, and then the other direction. In and out, in and out, and then sliding that leg back under you. We're going to come up into a lunge. So I'm going to take the right leg out in front, and we're just going to finish with a breathing and a little bit of stretching here. So when you're in a lunge, you want to feel your chest, your breastbone right over the hips. The tailbone is going to pull down, so I'm going to point the pubic bone forward again. That's going to give me a little more stretch here in the psoas and the hip flexors. So let that happen. Exhale. Find your neutral position here without squeezing the buns, but try to work from the front here. Breathe in and breathe out. And then I'm going to take this left arm up, same side as the left thigh back, and exhale, just kind of reach up, feeling the ribs lift off the pelvis, and then come back to neutral here. And again, stretch up and over, exhale, inhale, come back to neutral. Once more, reach up and over, and then back to neutral. So now we're just going to add a little rotation. So again, with the thoracic spine, if we have more movement there, it takes some pressure off the lower back. So stay neutral in the pelvis. I'll take the arms at a 90 and inhale. I'm going to rotate towards you or towards that left leg. And then exhale, come back to the center and turn to the right. If you want to grab this right knee, you can. And just whatever rotation you can get without pain in the back. Feel the rib cage rotate over the hips, over the pelvis. One more time. Breathe in. And then exhale. Rotate again. If you want to grab the right knee, you can. And turn. So I'm going to come back to kneeling. Take the left leg out. And then again, find your center. So the pubic bone moves forward a little bit, the tail pulls down. I'm not squeezing my buns to do that, trying to work from the front here. Take a few breaths. Maybe you're really tight in the psoas or the hip flexors. Take a few breaths, let that release a little bit. And then inhale, we'll reach the right arm up, and exhale, take a little side bend there. Inhale, soften to the center. Stretch and exhale. Feel the ribs lift. We want to go straight sideways here. And again, if you feel any pressure in the lower back, make sure the pubic bone is pointed forward, and the tailbone is long and down. Then I'll take the arms at that 90, inhale, rotate towards the right thigh, and then exhale, I'll come around towards you, and inhale. Again, lift, stay neutral. This takes a little balance too. Exhale, come around, rotate, and again, inhale. So this exercise is a little more advanced, but it can help ward off that lower back pain. So you can add this one later to your routine as you're getting a little stronger and feeling less pain in the lower back. So try that exercise. I would recommend every other day or most days if you want. It's gentle exercise, so it can be done most days, but try every other day to start with and see how you feel. Thank you.